was no plausible excuse she could make to leave the party. "I know the breeze is brisk, but you surely can't be cold, Gina," a female voice chided. Her head jerked toward the sound, her eyes snapping open, darkly turbulent like the churning green depths of the ocean. Quickly, Gina masked the emotional upheaval within as she recognized Catherine Trent, Justin's sister. "I was thinking of winter, I guess," Gina lied. "It isn't even officially autumn yet. Don't be rushing the seasons." The admonishment was offered laughingly. "Want to give me a hand packing this?" Catherine pulled a large plastic bag toward the shallow trough, 3/4 full of water. "Justin has succeeded in getting detained by the late arrivals. He manages to do that at every clam bake." Gina smiled stiffly, but didn't comment. "I don't mind helping. Part of the fun of a clam bake is the preparation." Her hands were trembling as she reached into the bag containing the seaweed. Fortunately, Catherine didn't seem to notice. Seaweed was added to the water in the trough. "Most people are convinced that the fun is in eating." Catherine closed the plastic bag and turned to remove the burlap top, saturated with water, that covered the large drum filled with live lobsters. Stacked on top of each other in the metal drum, the lobsters crawled around with difficulty. Their hard shells glistened in a dark green shade against the seaweed scattered among them. Wooden pegs forced their claws apart, eliminating the danger of physical injury as Gina and Catherine lifted the lobsters individually and set them in the trough of seaweed and water. When the bottom was covered with lobsters, more seaweed was added, followed by another layer of lobster and more seaweed. The barrel drum was emptied, and Catherine turned to the clams, already wrapped in cheesecloth sacks. A few of the clam bake guests drifted over to observe the preparations. Their casual interest heightened Gina's tension. The moment was approaching when she would have to face Rhyder. There were nearly 30 guests at the party, and she couldn't hope to avoid him indefinitely. Mentally, she tried to brace herself for the meeting. There was always the slim chance he wouldn't recognize her. After all, she had been 16 the last time he had seen her. 9 years would have altered her appearance more than they had altered his. True, her hair was still dark, as midnight black as his, but it didn't fall in long, silken strands between her shoulders. It was cut short, waving about her ears to add a touch of sophistication to her appearance. Her eyes remained ocean green, outlined by thick lashes, but were no longer trusting and innocent. Her curves were more womanly now, but her figure hadn't changed that much. Gina sincerely doubted that he had forgotten her any more than she had succeeded in forgetting him. Bitterly, she resented his second intrusion in her life, and she guessed Rhyder would feel the same when he recognized her. "Gina!" She stiffened at the sound of her name spoken by Justin Trent. A sixth sense warned her before she turned around that Rhyder was with him. A forced smile curved her mouth as she pivoted stiffly, carefully avoiding any glance at the man walking beside Justin. But she could feel the rake of narrowed blue eyes sweeping chillingly over her frame. Her fingers closed tightly over the cheesecloth bag of clams as she fought the waves of panic rising inside her. If she had been given a year, she still would not have been prepared for this moment. Her composure was eggshell brittle, threatening to crack at the slightest jar. "I've been looking for you." Justin slid an arm around the back of her waist. His hand tightened slightly on her hip in a faint caress. "I've been right here all along." Her husky laughter sounded false as it echoed mockingly in her own ears. She tipped her head back to gaze into Justin's handsome face. "What do you want?" His brown gaze lingered briefly on her curved lips, then shifted to the man watching them. "There's someone I want you to meet. Rhyder, this is..." "There's no need for an introduction,"